Good evening. We are determined that although 12 minutes late, for which we apologise, that we will introduce you to Jonathan Royal from hypnosisweek.com in a few moments' time. We have changed device, for we fear that they may be trying to stop Synonymous from telling you the real truth about hypnosis. So, let's see if I turn this. Will the picture remain the correct way? And our answer is no. So, it seems that I'm stuck with this position, which means, oh, this is not good. I now have the issue of endeavouring to try the impossible. So give me one moment and we will try to get a position where I can let go of this and still be seen. Will that work? Okay, let's try not to knock that. Modern technology, I absolutely hate it. So, we cut the beginning off. We are here a little bit late. So, yes, it's actually me. But then, most of you guessed that. However, I can't believe I must apologise. We should have started at 9 o'clock. And we will start at 9 o'clock each week from here on in. But tonight, obviously, we've had no choice but to start late because one device wouldn't work. We got onto another device and my ability to actually rotate the screen has vanished. I don't know, it's like they're trying to hack me and stop me revealing the truth that hypnosis does not exist, that hypnosis is merely an illusion. Very strange indeed. So anyway, just to get the housekeeping out of the way, we're going to be running for about 45 minutes. We'll be doing this every week on a Sunday at 9 o'clock. Hopefully by next week we will actually have found a solution to the screen rotation thing, because I really don't know what's actually got on there, but I know that it's not as one would expect. But there you go, I apologise for that. We are now live, just allowing a few more people to show up. I apologise for the light in the background, but the camera would be in a different position. Unfortunately, it's not on the tripod. It's balanced precariously against the wall because it's in upright selfie mode because the screen rotation wouldn't work. So I'm just allowing you a couple more minutes to let those people who were here at 9 o'clock, who then obviously thought, heck, the broadcaster's gone dead, be here, because obviously this is something we're going to be doing every week at 9 o'clock, fingers crossed, when technology works, as per the details at hypnosisweek.com. So with that in mind, all the details you need are at hypnosisweek.com. At hypnosisweek.com is the offer of the week. Each week the subject matter we talk about, and we'll give about 45 minutes of useful content to, if you're in the world of hypnotherapy, stage hypnosis, NLP or anything like that, will have a related offer. So something that you can buy for at least 50% off the usual retail price. And if you were to go to hypnosisweek.com and click on offer of the week, you'd see a product there called What the Fuck Do You Know About Hypnosis? And in truth, that's very relevant to what you're going to watch tonight, because the vast majority of you watch this live or secondary, and incidentally, if you were watching the feed on Steve Miller's A-lister Hypnotherapist Go-Getters group on Wednesday just gone, some of this will be the same, but there is a bit extra this evening. Okay, we're going to take it a little bit further. But the key thing is that I need to warn you in advance, this will make you question, or should do, what you've been taught before. It should raise the question, why have you spent so many months or years training in hypnotherapy, NLP and related subjects? Why have you gone to so many different teachers who taught you either the same thing in different ways or totally contradictory things or related but things nonetheless that ultimately are bullshit in the main. And the reason I say that is because the vast majority of hypnotherapy and NLP trainers don't have a clue what they're saying. They couldn't hypnotise the way out of a wet paper bag, and quite simply said, they are only regurgitating to you what they learnt by spending thousands of pounds to go on course after course. So they go on a practitioner course, then a master practitioner course, then an advanced master practitioner course, and a trainer's course, and then the majority of them go out there and start teaching other people, because it's easier for them to make money teaching other people who want to learn how to help other people than it is for them to actually go out there and try to help other people and then end up finding out that, you know, most of what they've learned is complete and utter useless bullshit that actually doesn't really work in the real world, or when it does work, it works very hit and miss, or it only works because of the underlying reasons of what I'm about to share with you, and not because of what the person who taught them told them and may have truly believed, because the hypnosis trainers tend to fall into a couple of categories, okay? There's category number one. They're the out and out charlatans. They're the hypnotherapy trainers who actually know what I'm telling you but won't admit it to you, because they're scared that if they admit the truth to you, you will not keep spending money with them. And you know what? You wouldn't, because if you truly were taught the truth by someone who truly knows how hypnosis works, for example, let's just say someone who's perhaps earned their living around the world for 26 years as a hypnotherapist, and 25 years of that has also done stage hypnosis, has done hundreds of TV shows around the world, has featured in every national, UK, daily and weekend newspaper, has been featured in USA Today, the biggest newspaper in America, even had a front page on The Sun for curing somebody's phobia of traffic wardens. If somebody of that kind of success, maybe somebody who actually advises television life coaches and hypnotists, someone who perhaps Paul McKenna, when they were running a company called McKenna Breen Limited in London, actually sent their staff and seminar facilitators to and said, go on this course by this person because he'll teach you stage hypnosis and a thing called complete mind therapy. Well, that person, if you haven't already guessed, is me. Jonathan Royal, known better to some of you as Alex William Smith, known to some of you in my former stage name of Alex Leroy. And yes, I'm about to reveal the truth, or enough of it to get you started. You see, you've been lied to by most of your hypnosis trainers, either A, because they didn't know the truth, and they were just feeding back to you what they'd learned from the people who taught them, because they truly believed in it, because they'd spent thousands of pounds and months and years training in it, so it must have been true. Or they were out and out charlatans who actually knew the truth, like I'm about to explain to you, that it's all snake oil, placebo, and important seeming ritual, combined with manipulative psychology of the environment and their beliefs and expectancies to get that end result. But those people are too scared generally to tell you the truth, because they think, well, then you won't go on any more courses. Well, here's the thing. In the next 45 minutes, I'm going to explain to you, and it's great, you know what, Martin? Martin Shipley's online, thank you. I don't agree with hypnotherapy. As many people don't understand how to do hypnosis. It's not a simple go to sleep. There's more people who are crap at hypnosis and can't properly hypnotize. I'll read this properly afterwards and read in about 20 minutes in. Anyone who's left comments, as long as it's underneath the profile on facebook.com/Alex the Hypnotist. If you're watching this anywhere else live, go to facebook.com/ALEX THEHYPNOTIST. Put your questions underneath. I will answer them in about 20 minutes when I've explained my construct of what hypnosis truly is. And it's great if you don't agree. It just means you're wrong. Well, let's put it this way. Yes, I am here to piss some of you off, and it will piss you off, because if you've spent months and years learning this art, and it is an art, it's the art of conning people, tricking people, manipulating people to believe something that actually doesn't exist. Because hypnosis only exists in the mind of the believer. You see, at one end of the scale, okay, is pain. At the other end of the scale is pleasure. This is all we're dealing with, pain and pleasure. Negative and positive. It's like a battery. Now, what you need to think about is this. At one end of the scale is negative, and this is failure, okay? Now, failure, the letter F stands for frustration. A is for aggressiveness. I is for insecurity. L is for loneliness, U is for uncertainty, R is for resentment, E is for emptiness, failure at this end of the scale, which also is the end of the scale where pain is, where the person feeling trapped, sad, depressed or stressed is at one end of the scale. The other end of the scale of life is over here, and that is positive. Success. Success standing for S, sense of direction. U, understanding. C, courage. The next C is calmness. Then E, which is esteem. The S for self-confidence, and the next S for self-acceptance or self-respect. Success is at this end, which can also stand for pleasure, positivity, freedom, happiness, feeling relaxed and calm, whereas at the other end of the scale, people feel stressed, tense, trapped, painful, depressed, negative, and all those kind of things. When you watch the video back, you'll see what failure stands for here and what success stands for here. So with that in mind, there's two ends of the scale. Negative over here, positive over there. And in between is a human being. Now, a human being, most humans are not being. Most humans are doing. They're humans doing their job. Humans doing out of work activities. They don't truly be and allow themselves time for themselves that often. That's part of our job. But our main job is to realise that any client that comes to us, whether they're a volunteer on stage at a stage hypnosis show where we're going to go, sleep, in a few moments' time when you hear this piece of music, you're going to be Elvis Presley or whatever cliched routine it may be, or whether they're coming to us for therapy and we're going to go, sleep, when you wake up, you no longer need, want, crave or desire for cigarettes or tobacco, or sleep, when you wake up in a few moments' time, you no longer need, want, crave or desire for sugary or fatty foods. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's for stage or entertainment, serious or light-hearted, okay? The fact is this, every human being has some basic needs. Now, Maslow published his hierarchy of needs in a 1943 paper that was named A Theory of Human Motivation. You can find that on the internet. Type in A Theory of Human Motivation by Maslow. Maslow, spelled M-A-S-L-O-W-S. And it was published in 1943, but it's freely available on the internet. And it shows you humans' basic needs. I've taken that and tweaked it a bit more and found that the way I've tweaked it's more relevant to therapy and stage hypnosis and any form of psychological talking therapy. And it's simply this, that every human being requires and needs to feel loved, wanted, needed, appreciated, cared for, cherished, and valued, okay? Loved, wanted, needed, appreciated, cared for, cherished, and valued. Now, they may sound very similar, but if you actually get a dictionary and look at those words, write them down. Those words are loved, wanted, needed, appreciated, cared for, cherished, and valued. Okay? Now, despite random comments appearing from people going, you're at the very other end of the scale on your belief on real hypnosis. I bet I'm not, and I bet I've made way more money and been more successful and taught thousands more people who are now successful stage hypnotists and hypnotherapists around the world than you, Martin. And the thing is also, the majority of stage hypnosis or hypnotherapy trainers in the world. I've arguably and provably, if you go to magicalguru.com or even better, hypnotherapybootcamp.com, look at the testimonial videos on there, click on the links, see the medical doctors, the nurses, the psychiatrists, the expert psychologists, all of whom have said how I have cut the bullshit out and tell the truth. So, but I'll answer questions later. Anyway, the point is this, and this is fact, or at least it's the fact in my world and the world of the thousands of people I've taught who are using these techniques and finding them to work every single day with clients with every single problem you can possibly think of. And that is that a human being at heart needs to feel loved, wanted, needed, appreciated, cared for, cherished and valued. If there's any imbalance in that, Okay, if they've got all that perfectly, then great. They'll be at the positive end of scale of life. They'd have no problems, no habits, no fears, no addictions, no phobias, no emotional imbalances. Sadly, those people are very few and far between if they exist at all. Okay? So the more they have a lacking in one or more of them, the more they'll be pushed towards the negative, painful end of the scale over there. Now, if there is a lacking somewhere with their needs of wanting to feel loved, wanted, needed, appreciated, cared for, cherished, or valued, then that will have a knock-on effect on their self-confidence, self-image, self-control, which also could be termed as willpower, self-confidence, self-control, self-image, and self-esteem, all of which contribute together towards somebody's self-respect and self-worth. But if there's an imbalance in any of them, that will push them more towards the painful side. When all four of those are fully, or as high as they can be, positive and balanced, it means that the person also therefore feels more loved, wanted, needed, appreciated, cared for, cherished and valued. Now, in order to make this happen, we need to make them feel those things. Now, Emile Coué, who if you search came up with the phrase every day in every way, I'm feeling better and better, he proved that if people said that 3 times in the morning, 3 at lunchtime, 3 in the evening, that over a period of a month, a period of a week, they'd feel better, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, by the end of a month, they'd feel even better. And the longer they did it, the more it helped them feel good about themselves. And the simple fact is that people make their own decisions in life. There is as such no such thing as a phobia or a habit, a fear or addiction, that a person can't just say, that's enough. Now, I used to smoke. One day I decided not to. I put out a cigarette. I did not buy any more. I did not smoke again. Simple as that. I've not smoked since, years on. That's it. That's all it takes. You just make a decision. Years ago, in the early 90s, much to my regret, I once took cocaine. And one day I woke up and you know what? I said, this is ridiculous. Wanted to be part of the celebrity crowd where I was going in Stringfellows and stuff. So I went, no more. I didn't buy any more. I didn't take any more. That was it. End of. It is that quick to stop. When I was young, I got scared of spiders. One day I realised, you know what? That's just because I saw my mum being scared of them. Why should I? They're not going to kill me. You know what? From that moment forward, I never was scared of spiders again. It is that quick to make a change in your life. But here's the problem. Human beings, and I'm describing now thought processes that are invisible. Okay, so you've got to bear that in mind. This is a construct. At deep down level, they know that they should get off their arses and just go, you know what? It's ridiculous that I'm scared of heights, bridges, spiders or whatever, or it's ridiculous that I'm stressed about something that happened years ago, or it's ridiculous that I still smoke when I want to stop. They know that deep down, but here's the problem. They also know deep down, in their unconscious or subconscious mind, call it what you will, it's all a construct anyway, made up labels from the world of psychology, all of which is just theories, none of it proven to any level that you can say is 100% definite, but we'll go with the construct generally accepted. But somewhere deep down, they also know that if they wake up the next morning and stop smoking, that the family and friends are going to say to them, oh, you're not smoking. When did you stop? And they'll say, oh, I decided not to last night. And then the family and friends go, why haven't you done that before? And a week later, if they're not smoking, the friends will go, you know, you should have done this years ago. And actually, the family, friends and environment will make them feel bad about it truly being that easy to change. Because it will raise that question of why didn't they do it sooner? Why were they a loser? Why did they allow that behaviour pattern to continue happening when it was no longer relevant for them? And when part of the brain was going, I don't want to smoke anymore. And there was a conflict going on. Well, it's because to admit they could have changed just like that would mean they'd have to admit they could have changed just like that the day before or the day before. So in the eyes of other people, they ultimately will be to blame for not having changed sooner. And people don't like to feel they're wrong and they don't want to be at blame. So in order to remove all self-blame, shame guilt and regret from themselves, in order that all self-blame, shame, guilt and regret is removed from themselves, they go to see a therapist. Because then, when they've gone through the important seeming ritualistic process that triggers off the placebo, possibly in some circumstances, that they can buy into and believe and not have to feel stupid for paying out money, then they can leave there and they can go, I'm a non-smoker, or I don't want the sugary or fatty foods, or I'm not scared of spiders anymore, or whatever they came for. And they can demonstrate that change in behaviour, attitude, thoughts, whatever, to their friends and family, knowing they cannot personally be blamed, shamed, guilted, or made to feel regret for not doing it sooner, because they can turn around and justifiably go, well, I've tried before and it didn't work. I couldn't do it on my own. And that's why I needed help from a therapist. And it removes all self-blame, shame, guilt and regret from them. And this is justified to them even more through the perception of how much you charge. If you're a £35, £40, £50, £60 a session hypnotherapist, good luck to you. It's hit and miss what you do. It'll still work for the reasons as I say in a lot of the cases, but your success rate, I wouldn't be offering a money back guarantee every session if I were you. If you're charging less than £100, ideally at least 150, and I would say in the realms of £200 minimum a session. I actually charge £500 per session, okay? Most of my students, even when they're starting out, charge £250 per session, and the reason being, people have to value it and believe in it. And the more they pay, the more likely they are to change like that. In fact, to the level that when they show up for the session, they've already changed because they know it will remove all self-blame, shame, guilt and regret from them. So they can move towards the positive and leave all that negative behind in the past, gone completely. So they move to the life they want, which they could always have done on their own. There is nothing any hypnotherapist or stage hypnotist has ever done that a human being just can't do normally. That's been proven. I mean, stage hypnosis-wise, Graham F. Wagstaff in 1981 published a paper called Hypnosis, Compliance and Belief, within which he examined and showed exactly that there's nothing stage hypnotists do that can't be done without a so-called ritual of stage hypnosis. So apply Occam's razor, and the simplest solution is usually the best. And indeed, it most definitely is here, at least my experience of 26 years of hypnotherapy around the world and over 25 years of doing stage hypnosis, my experience of teaching thousands of people around the world, see their testimonials at hypnotherapybootcamp.com, shows me that it is as simple as giving people a focal point, a reason and an excuse to change, and a permission to change. Because when you're young, you're conditioned to listen to authority figures. And we are the perceived authority figure as a hypnotist because people perceive it as someone who's got the power to go, look into my eyes, sleep, you're under. When you wake up, you no longer have this problem. Now, rather than wasting time and telling them it's not like that, when a client says to me, Jonathan, because that's my stage name, Jonathan, you're not going to hypnotise me and make me run around like a chicken, are you? I say to them, you've only paid for an hour of my time. If you want me to make you run around like a chicken, you can pay some more money. Or we could just use the time you paid for to ensure that you leave here the confident, happy, healthy, relaxed non-smoker, or the individual who's no longer scared of enclosed spaces or lifts or whatever they came for. And you know what? They always say, well, let's just get on with it. But the beautiful thing is in their head, rather than removing that power that was in their mind that you've got, rather than saying, no, hypnotherapy is not like that, you've said to them they're correct. You could do that, you do have the power to do that, but they'd have to pay more money. So shall we just get down to business, what they came for? Which reassures them that you won't make them do it, but you could. And when they think you could, guess what? They think you're powerful. They think you've got the magic. So your next job is to give them an experience where at the end of the session they feel like they've been zonked out and they've been asleep and they've been woke up and the magic's happened. And if you use my model of complete mind therapy, the way I teach it at my live event, details at hypnotherapybootcamp.com, or the home study version, details at hypnosisweek.com, then the model you'll be using will guarantee the vast majority of people that come to you will go into a genuine sleep. I don't mean an altered state of consciousness like people say hypnosis is, which it isn't. I mean snory sleep. And the ones who don't snore will be asleep, It's just that they don't snore. Not everybody does. So at the end of it, you will have to wake them up and they will go, oh, did I fall asleep? At which point you say, yes, isn't that brilliant? That tells me what I need to know, that this has worked for you. And because they experience what they believe hypnosis to be, and the vast majority of people do believe it's mind control, so give them what they expect. The vast majority of people do believe you can go, boom, you're out of it, so give them what they expect. The vast majority of people do believe that you can then just basically say their life's changed, and the vast majority of people are wanting a slap round the face from an authority figure who gives them permission to change and says, today's the day, you can leave here and remove all self-blame, shame, guilt and regret from yourself, so there's no connection to that negative stuff of the past, so you can move towards the positive, and you've got the perfect excuse to say to your friends and family why you didn't do it sooner. And more importantly, a complete mind therapy session is structured so that it makes them feel loved, wanted, needed, appreciated, cared for, cherished and valued, so that in turn that increases their levels of self-confidence, self-image, self-control, aka willpower, and self-esteem, which could be termed self-respect, so they feel better about themselves and therefore they move towards success, a sense of direction in life, understanding, courage, calmness, esteem, self-confidence, self-acceptance, a place where they feel freedom, relaxed, calm, positive and happy about everything in life. Whereas when they had any form of habit, fear, phobia, addiction or any problem of any type, it was purely and simply because they hadn't got off their arse and changed it themselves. And the reason for that is they did not want to have to admit that they were to blame for not doing it sooner, so they would feel guilty about not having made the change sooner, and they would have self-blame, shame, guilt and regret about it. And the only reason they had it is because they didn't feel fully loved, wanted, needed, appreciated, cared for, cherished and valued, which is often because they didn't have enough self-confidence, self-esteem, self-image, self-control to operate life on their terms so that they would be treated by others the way that they would ideally want to be treated. So, you know, it's a very deep subject, this. The point is, though, it's not about all this stuff about there being a conscious, analytical or critical faculty in unconscious area, albeit that, you know, it should really go that there's a conscious, analytical, critical faculty and then unconscious or subconscious, rather than that way, because that's the way the brain's wired up. Left controls right, right controls left and all that bullshit, which there's elements of truth in. But what I found consistently more usable, real and workable in the real world, hence I offer a 100% money back guarantee to clients, and I've only ever had to refund 2 people in 26 years, which I think is a pretty damn good success rate, hence the kind of testimonials I've got at hypnotherapiebootcamp.com. And you know, even my live courses and my home study courses details currently with 90% off special offer are at hypnosisweek.com. Live courses go to hypnotherapiebootcamp.com. In either event, they come with a full 1 year, 365-day, 100% money-back guarantee. No other hypnosis trainer has got the balls to do that because they're teaching bollocks in the main. There's a few exceptions, but in the main, they either don't know what they're teaching and they're just regurgitating crap they got taught by somebody else after going on a practitioner, then master prac, then advanced master practitioner, then trainer, then they started teaching people without having any real-world experience, and they've got no real demonstrable success. Whereas if you go to hypnotherapiebootcamp.com, you'll see testimonials galore from thousands of people, medical doctors, GPs, psychiatrists, nurses, plastic surgeons, existing hypnotherapists who said they actually only started making money and being truly successful when they did my courses. You'll see all that at hypnotherapiebootcamp.com. Or if you want the home study, it's hypnosisweek.com. But to explore this field a little bit further, bearing in mind you've got the kind of underlying bit of it there, people often say to me, Jonathan, you know what, oh, and by the way, I will open this up to questions and start answering the questions that are there, as long as you type the questions underneath the video at facebook.com/Alex the Hypnotist on my profile, because that's where I'm looking on my laptop at the minute. I know this is being broadcast live in other places, okay? I can only answer the ones I can see on the screen, which I will do in a few minutes' time. But There are 6 books that I thoroughly recommend every hypnotist to read them. The majority of hypnotists I spoke to have not read them. Book number 1 is They Call It Hypnosis by Robert A. Baker. Book number 2, If This Be Magic, The Forgotten Power of Hypnosis by Guy Lyon Playfair. Number 3, Monsters and Magical Sticks, There's No Such Thing as Hypnosis by Stephen Heller. Number 4, Bad Medicine, Misconceptions and Misuses Revealed from Distance Healing to Vitamin Zero by Christopher Wanjek. Number 5, Trick or Treatment, The Undeniable Facts About Alternative Medicine by Edzard Ernst and Simon Singh. And number 6, Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. Read those 6 books and you'll learn more about hypnosis than from the vast majority of hypnotherapy trainers on the planet. Seriously, because most of them don't have a clue. What you will also learn when you combine the information together is that it's all placebo. It's just giving the client permission to change, an excuse to change, a focal point they can believe in, manipulating their beliefs and expectations so that they pay a sizable fee, believe in it, and then we do our snake oil, our lucky juju, our winky wanky arty farty ritual that they can buy into, focus on, and therefore then remove all self-blame, shame, guilt and regret from themselves. And because it's also got elements that make them feel good, ego strengthening, so they feel loved, wanted, needed, appreciated, cared for, cherished and valued, this will help increase their levels of self-confidence, self-esteem, self-image and self-control, ultimately the self-respect. And because of that, we cut off slightly, but because of that, it will increase their self-respect and the way they feel about themselves. They will be able to move forward to the positive lifestyle the way they desired it. Look, that's the basic construct. The thing is this. I explain it in more depth in my clinical paper that was published by the International Journal of Complementary and Alternative Medicine. Now, the paper they published last year in the International Journal of Complementary and Alternative Medicine can be downloaded as a PDF free of charge, along with all 3 of my hypnosis training manuals, including the manual that Paul McKenna recommended that all his staff, when he ran McKenna Breen, bought, studied, along with my training videos at the time. He recommended them, and also to his seminar facilitators at the time. They're all there for you free of charge at hypnosisweek.com. HYPNOSIS, hypnosisweek.com. And there'll down the page be a bit where you can download the clinical paper free of charge, where you can download my 3 home study hypnosis training manuals free of charge, and where also you'll find that you can get my complete home study course at 90% off the usual price when you respond now, within the next week, and take advantage of that offer. Also at the top of the page, if you can't afford the home study package, but I urge you, it will help you make more money, the testimonials speak for themselves, look at the top where it says Hypnosis Week Offer of the Week. Look on there, and my set, there's called What the Fuck Do You Know About Hypnosis? And it's a true question. What the fuck do you know? I guarantee you, for the majority of people watching this, I know more than you. And that's why I've got thousands of students around the world who've left fantastic testimonials at hypnotherapybootcamp.com. But that's why I've shared all of those true inside secrets that really work in the set. There's called What the Fuck Do You Know About Hypnosis, which is available as this week's offer of the week for just under 50% of the usual retail price at hypnosisweek.com. That offer will end at midnight next Saturday, ready for next Sunday's broadcast, which will take place next Sunday at 9 o'clock British time. But we've got a bit more to tell you, because people say to me, Jonathan, but what about the clinical studies that show hypnosis exists and it's a special state of mind? Well, let's look at some of the notable ones. In 2005, Amir Raz at the McGill University in Montreal did a study, Scandinavian researchers with him, did a study that the Stroop effect, this is where if you take the word green but write it in red ink and ask people to look at it and name the colour, not the word, a lot of people will say green because the word's green and miss the point that you asked them to tell them the colour, which it was actually written in the colour red ink. If that makes sense. And it can also be the other way around. They showed that under hypnosis that lots of people could be told that they would be able to tell the difference between the word and the colour it's written in and all that, and that because of this meant hypnosis was real. You know what? In my mentalism out years ago, I used to use the Troop effect, and I discovered from real world use of this, without hypnotising anyone, that some people naturally can tell the difference. In fact, quite a large amount of people can. Larger than you'd expect. And the other ones can if they're warned in advance that they need to think about it carefully before they answer. So the fact of going through an important seeming ritual, hypnosis, where you are going to tell them, because you go, when I wake you up, you'll be able to tell the difference between them. You're just telling them. It's nothing about an altered state of consciousness. It's about them having time to rehearse and prepare. Simple as that. And I've proven this in my mentalism performances over the years. So that one's bullshit. 2011, Scandinavian researchers said that the glassy-eyed kind of look means hypnosis is real. You know what? I have on demand done that. Am I an expert at self-hypnosis? No, I can just... It's not going to show up on video, unfortunately, but... Trust me, if connected to one of those brainwave pattern machines now, experts would say I was hypnotised. No, it's quite simple. I'm just thinking, pretend you're hypnotised. Tie in with the construct, tie in with the ritualistic, important seeming placebo ritual that's been given to the person. So, you know what? I can't prove it on here, but I can prove it at a live event. And if you come, if you have a look at hypnotherapybootcamp.com, I'll hypnotise people and show you they've got the glassy eyes. I'll explain how it was done, and then we'll prove that it's all bullshit. Then, in 2013, Dr. David Spiegel came up with the brainwave pattern thing, and he said that because there were different brainwaves when people are hypnotised, bullshit. I've been connected to pulse machines, mental brainwave pattern machines at Tom Silver's event in London that I helped promote and helped sell tickets for a number of years back, and was there as one of his special guests. And you know what? Within seconds of him connecting me to those machines, and also years before that in the 90s, Dr. David Landau, the hypnotherapist, who was an advisor to the IAH, now run by Rob Kelly, connected me to machines, and he commented on how wonderfully quick I could hypnotise myself. I wasn't hypnotising myself. All I did was breathe deeply and gently in through my nose and out through my mouth 3 times. Closed my eyes and thought of something nice. Now, if that's hypnosis, fine. Hypnosis exists. You know what I call that? Bullshit! A distraction of the mind, a mind trick. That's it. Give someone to focus on to the exclusion of everything else. Then give them some suggestions, because suggestion correctly expressed is hypnosis, and apparent miracles are possible. As you can learn by reading books such as If This Be Magic by Guy Lyon Playfair, where there's clinical studies galore in there of people with the worst skin conditions ever being cured within 1 or 2 sessions of hypnosis ritual, just because they believed in it. Because that's all we do. We manipulate people's beliefs and expectancy. Then we use techniques of disorientation and confusion, especially if you're doing rapid inductions, combined with suggestion and repetition. Repeat things at least 3 times, because the power of the mind is power of 3, to create relaxation and sleep. No, it is if you do complete mind therapy. They will go genuinely to sleep, because then they will feel they've had the genuine magical experience. But they're things I can only teach you live, or I need more time for. Well, in fact, we'll teach some of them next week. Some of what I call the convinces and tricks that hypnosis is the real zonked out state that they want it to be. Because if you can make it be that for them, then you know what? They will believe something's happened. And when they believe something's happened, then they will change like that. It's as simple as that. Especially if they paid at least 250 quid, 500 quid. The more the better, the quicker the results will be. Because you will have removed all that self-blame, shame, guilt and regret for them. You will have given it a nice, high, positive perceived value of worth, so that your important seeming ritual does remove all self-blame, shame, guilt and regret from them, and does help them feel loved, wanted, needed, appreciated, cared for, cherished and valued, so that in turn positively, their self-confidence, self-image, self-control, self-esteem, aka self-respect, is positively increased. And if you want to believe in that whole construct of distracting the conscious mind and getting past the gatekeeper, the critical faculty, the analytical area, and getting into the unconscious to reprogram their personal laptop computer, then you know what? The ritual will do that, because it gives them something to focus on, so you can slip past that point, if indeed such exists, which I don't believe it does. Simple as that. And that confident I am in what I'm saying and what I've said, which you'll be able to watch if you missed the beginning of the video when we end in about 20 minutes time when I've answered the questions which I'm coming up to. You will find if you watch the video from the beginning, and if you go to hypnosisweek.com and download my clinical paper for free that was published in the International Journal of Complementary and Alternative Medicine, and if you then go to hypnotherapybootcamp.com and look at the video testimonials, click on the links to the written testimonials, you'll see what very well respected medical GPs, medical doctors, consultants, nurses, psychiatrists, psychologists, hypnotherapy, hypnosis, NLP experts all over the world have said about my training, saying that quite simply it's the best. That's not my words, that's theirs. And also you'll see the number of people that say until they came on one of my courses, they didn't make half the money they wanted to make, and they didn't have half the success rate they wanted. I promise you, if you come along live in September to my last British event of 2016, as per hypnotherapybootcamp.com, which you get 100% 1 year money back guarantee on, by the way, that you will become a better hypnotist. You will become more positive. You will get the confidence to give money back guarantees to your client, and you will find that you're earning more money than you ever dreamed possible. If you're not happy at the end of the year, claim your money back. Simple. If you can't make it along in September, or you can't afford the added expense of the hotels and the travel, then go to hypnosisweek.com, scroll down the page and take a look at the current offer that's on for the next week of 90% off the usual cost of my home study package, which includes absolutely everything I have ever released over the past 25 years. That's every single product, course, business building tool, sales letter template, sales video, every single thing that if you bought separately would cost you the best part of $8,000, about £5,000 sterling to buy, can be yours for a fraction of the price today at hypnosisweek.com if you scroll down the page. And yes, I am that confident in it that you get a full 1 year, 365 days money back guarantee. That in there it will expand on this construct that we covered from the start of the video, of the fact that it's all about people needing to feel loved, wanted, needed, appreciated, cared for, cherished and valued, which ties in with Emile Cou's every day in every way I'm feeling better and better, and the repetition of it. It also ties in with the wonderful book by Maxwell. God, I've had a mental block. It will come to me. Maxwell. You know, when you want to try and remember something, try itself, by the way, is the law of reversed effort. The more you try to do something, the more difficult it becomes. Psycho-Cybernetics. That's it. Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. Read that. And if you read between the lines, you'll see that it ties in. And he's proven over the years, he was a plastic surgeon, and he proved they didn't really need plastic surgery. What they needed is to end up feeling that they were loved, wanted, needed, appreciated, cared for, cherished and valued. He doesn't use that construct. That's one I came up with, but that's where I got the seeds that germinated. And that's how it works. So I've said the clinical studies out there saying hypnosis are real are bullshit. I prove it on my course. I demonstrate the things. People will then come out with things like, who want to sound fancy because they've swallowed loads of books, and they'll go, well, what about Hebb's law? Neurons that fire together wire together, which is basically just another way of saying use it or lose it. You know what? If you start doing something, you repeat it. Repetition, hypnosis is repetition. You will create a new neural pathway in the brain, which also gets called by some neuroplasticity, the fact that you can learn new things even when you've been brain damaged. Guess what? It's fucking irrelevant. Yes, it's true, but you know what? As long as you make the person feel loved, wanted, needed, appreciated, cared for, cherished and valued, as long as you have them increase their levels of self-esteem, self-image, self-confidence and self-control so that their self-respect grows, and as long as you give them a construct and an environment where they truly believe you're the authority figure with that power to change their life, then their belief and expectancy will be so manipulated by little things like all the psychology books on the bookshelf behind you that they think you've read, so you must be some kind of mega expert, the diplomas on the wall, the testimonials on your website. It's all about putting yourself on the map. M-A-P-P, map. These NLPers, wankers, NLP stands for nonsensically long pantomime. It's hypnosis with the good bits removed. But anyway, the truth is, okay, that NLP, they talk about the map, not the territory. Bullshit! It's fancy sounding shit. There's only one map that matters, and that's M-A-P-P. Marketing, advertising, publicity and promotion. If your marketing, your advertising, your publicity and promotion is all steered in the correct manner to make the potential client truly believe that you can and will change their life in one session, and I think if you're taking more than one session, except for things maybe such as extreme weight loss issues, then basically you are ripping people off and you're not as good as you could be at your job. Rather than charging 40, 50, 60, 70 quid a session, charge 250 or 500 quid and do one session, give 100% money back guarantee, get results every time, get wonderful testimonials galore like the ones I get on magicalguru.com and also on my live events webpage at hypnotherapybootcamp.com or the home study page where you can get the free gifts as well at hypnosisweek.com, and find that you get a life where you do get hundreds of TV appearances occurring, features in national media. You know, years back I was featured on the front page of The Sun, the Britain's most read national newspaper, and a double page spread inside, unheard of for any hypnotherapist ever, except for Paul McKenna. I was on the front page and 2 pages inside for curing somebody's fear of traffic wardens. And you know what? All I did was make them feel loved, wanted, needed, appreciated, cared for, cherished and valued, so it increased their self-confidence, self-image, self-esteem and self-control with an important seeming ritual that some of you might call hypnosis, so that they could believe in it, buy into it and leave the crap behind, move towards positive and remove all self-blame, shame, guilt and regret from themselves, and their life changed for the better, because it is as simple as that. It truly is when you transmit that confidence to your client. When you're offering 100% money back guarantee, do you know how much confidence that puts into your client? It says you know what you're doing. When they see testimonials on your website from other people saying, wow, he's the best ever at this puts the nurse that 99% of the job is done before they even show up at your office. I'm about to start answering questions. So just before I do, I need to mention there's a couple of other videos on YouTube you'd be wise to look at, because people go, well, what about people like Orman McGill or Gil Boyne or Dave Alman and other famous names, who some of which have passed away from us, who have written books galore saying hypnosis is real. Well, you know what? I met Orman McGill at a magic convention in the 80s run by Supreme Magic Company in England, and he admitted hypnosis is cobblers. It's just a ritual, it's a placebo, it's snake oil. Stage hypnosis, people have the perfect excuse to say, he or she made me do it. And afterwards they choose to either remember everything and go, oh, but I couldn't stop myself, so they get more praise, and therefore that attention makes them feel loved, wanted, needed, appreciated and all that. Or they go, oh, I can't remember. Did I honestly do that? Either way, they get more loving, more of these ego boosts that they need. And it gives them the perfect excuse to have their 5 minutes of fame. You know, Gil Boyne, when he lived in London, admitted to me on the telephone, it's all bunkum. But they can't admit that in their books, otherwise you stop buying them. I'm different. I do admit that in my first ever book, that if you go to magicalguru.com and go to the shop and then go on Amazon, you will find my first book. But you can get the PDF of it free. If you're not bothered about having a physical book, you can get the PDF free at hypnosisweek.com along with my other 2 hypnosis training manuals. But if you prefer a real book in your hands, go to magicalguru.com, click on shop and go to Amazon. Then you can have a real book in your hands. They're the cheapest, best value for money books out there because they tell the truth. That's the thing. People don't like the fact they tell the truth. I've nothing to lose. I get clients come to me anyway, even though all over the internet I say hypnosis does not exist, which only proves my case further. In fact, I get a lot of clients that at the end of it walk away and go, thank you for giving me permission to change, which again ties in with what I've said. These people, well, if you want more on Orman McGill, Gil Boyne or Dave Alman, go to youtube.com and type in why hypnotherapists or stage hypnotists big style part 1. That's part 1 of the video. Then when you watch that, type in why hypnotherapists or stage hypnotists big style part 2. Watch that video and I name them all and point out how Orman McGill, Gil Boyne, Dave Alman, they were all stage hypnotists, you know. They made a lot of money selling snake oil to wannabe hypnotherapists, but they were all stage hypnotists originally, who just learned that it is bullshit, placebo, manipulating people's beliefs and expectancies with positive intent to help them or entertain them, but transmitting a confidence to them that, hey, this works. And if you truly believe in what you do and that it will work for the client, offer them a 100% money back guarantee. Offer them the fact that at the end of that session they'll hold the spider, stand on the high bridge, go up in the lift or whatever's relevant to what they came to you with. If you're not doing that, then why not? Why haven't you got the confidence to do that? And if given this wonderful power of hypnosis and technique, even if you think the way you learnt was right, if you truly believe that enough, why are you even watching this video? I'm guessing it's because you're not earning enough money. And if you're not earning enough money, you're not on the map enough, which means you're not doing the right form of marketing, advertising, publicity and promotion. And we are about to answer some questions. And if you're not doing that, well, guess what? Come to the live event, hypnotherapybootcamp.com. Look at the testimonials on hypnotherapybootcamp.com and see how much more money people have made after attending. Or if you can't attend the live event, go to hypnosisweek.com and at the very least click on Hypnosis Week Offer of the Week and get the set What the Fuck Do You Know About Hypnosis, where I'll set you on the right track to earning more money. And then when you're earning more money, you can come back and get, or do it today, invest in your future, invest in yourself, invest in your success, and scroll down the page at hypnosisweek.com and go to where it says Elite Hypnosis Bootcamp and click on the 90% off discount offer and get everything I've ever released and discover why some of the biggest television name life coaches and hypnotists in the world still come to me for marketing advice and also advice on their hypnotic technique, which I use that term loosely because it is just all what I've said, but I come up with new rituals for them that they can sell to their wonderful audience, as it were. It's all about intent. We've covered the clinical studies in the past. Oh yeah, one other video on YouTube worth watching is Kreskin, the amazing Kreskin, 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 and search for Kreskin Explores the Power of Suggestion. It's a 23-minute long video and he categorically says hypnosis does not exist. In fact, you know, Kreskin has offered 100,000 United States dollars to anyone who can prove hypnosis is some special state of mind, an altered state of consciousness, a form of trance, or a special state that is not just something you can basically do without, that it's just a ritualistic placebo. If you can prove that what I'm saying is not true, and that what Kreskin's said is not true, then go and claim that $100,000 if you're that confident. Believe me, if I could, I would. But the fact is I can't, because I know it's all bullshit what most hypnotherapy trainers teach. You know, up until 2015, James Randi offered $1 million from the James Randi Educational Foundation to anyone who could prove paranormal stuff. But amongst that was proving that hypnosis genuinely existed as a distinct, unique, special state. And you know what? Nobody ever claimed the $1 million. Don't you just think that the money-grabbing bastards who have you put on course after course after course and keep charging you more money, if they truly believed in what they do, if they truly believed they could do it on demand in test conditions, they'd have claimed that $1 million. Oh yes, they bloody well would. But you know why they didn't? Because they're full of crap. They either A, know they're talking crap and just selling you snake oil, course after course after course, because if you genuinely knew how and why hypnosis works, and if you come to one of my live events or study my own study course, I know you will then know how it truly works, and that's why I'm that confident to give you a full 1 year, 365 days, 100% money back satisfaction guarantee. Okay? Terms and conditions as per the website. But the fact is, if you put into action what I teach you, then it will work for you. And when it does, you will see you've been lied to by the majority of trainers. They've taken your money, they've ripped you off, and you wasted months, perhaps even years of your life to be where you are, not earning enough money, not getting enough clients, and not getting the success rate that you truly deserve. If you've got a sincere desire to help people, then I urge you to go to hypnosisweek.com. I urge you to download my clinical report from the International Journal of Complementary and Alternative Medicine and to read it and study it. I then urge you to get my home study course. Well, it's got 90% off, or if you can't afford that, then at hypnosisweek.com, get the offer of the week. What the fuck do you know about hypnosis? And study the contents of that, and it will skyrocket your success, your confidence, and your earning ability. Even better if you can get there live as per hypnotherapybootcamp.com. It is not by accident that I've been featured in hundreds and hundreds of TV shows around the world. It is not by accident I've hypnotized and used mind techniques on major celebrities around the world. It is no coincidence that after hypnotising the Wigan Athletic and Blackburn Rovers football players, that they did much better and went up a league. These are not coincidences. They're not accidents. They are down to a full understanding of how and why hypnosis works. So, with this in mind, remember, people talk about inner child therapy. Guess what? If you do what I've said, you'll be the authority figure that on the one hand gives them a slap round the face and says, now, leave here without any self-blame, shame, guilt and regret. You're cured, although you're not allowed to advertise that word term because of Advertising Standards Authority, but you're cured, you're changed. And also, because of the process of complete mind therapy that I teach, they'll also feel loved and like the child's been told it's okay, you're forgiven, you can now let the adult grow up type thing. So, I know this is broadcasting of various different profiles and pages. I can only answer questions that appear where I can see them, namely on my profile at facebook.com/Alex the Hypnotist. I know from this feed, I can tell that people are watching this on my hypnotherapy group as well. In fact, more people are watching it on there, but I'm currently not on there. I will go over and have a quick look in a minute, but it's easier if you post the questions on here. So just let me double check I've covered what I needed to. Negatives over there, positive over here. Here is failure, frustration, aggressiveness, insecurity, loneliness, uncertainty, resentment, emptiness, and all the things that are trapped, painful, sad, depressed, stressed, all that shit. Over this side's positive and success, sense of direction, understanding, courage, calmness, esteem, self-confidence, self-acceptance, where they feel free, happy, relaxed and calm in life. And our job to get them from the negative stuff to the positive stuff is to make them feel loved, wanted, needed, appreciated, cared for, cherished and valued, so that it increases their levels of self-image, self-esteem, self-control, and self-control, self-image, self-confidence as well, so that the self-respect feels better, so that it all balances out in a way very similar to what Emile Coué went into when he discovered that saying every day in every way I feel better and better 3 times a day. Well, you know, after a session, I give somebody an audio CD and they listen to that every day for the next 28 days, which it brainwashes them almost. It gives them a focal point, something to believe in, and further every day removes all self-blame, shame, guilt and regret for them. And then at the end of a 28-day cycle, it's become habit to them to have that new positive behaviour, which is fantastic. Then your job's done and they go away and they're a walking salesman for you. So, looking at this, can you get success treating depression with CMT? Yes, you can. Simple as. I use the complete mind therapy session for everything. And I mean everything. Alcoholism, drug taking, rape trauma, post-traumatic stress disorder, smoking cessation, you name it, from A through to Z. Complete mind therapy is proven consistently to work in one session as long as the client listens to the backup CD and does as they're told. That's not just me saying that. Look at hypnotherapybootcamp.com. Look at the video testimonials from people I've taught all over the world. Click on the links and look at the testimonials from medical GPs, nurses, doctors, psychiatrists, plastic surgeons, already established hypnotherapists who found that complete mind therapy which in itself is a beautiful suggestion, and suggestion correctly expressed is hypnosis. But complete mind therapy implies there's nothing left out, just like my other creation of mind, emotion, liberation techniques, which I teach at my live events and in home study courses. Melt. Mind, emotion, liberation techniques will help you melt your problems away with complete mind therapy, CMT. From the Mind Care organisation, it feels lovely. It sounds nice. It sounds like we care. And makes them feel loved, wanted, needed, appreciated, cared for, and so on. So yes, you can. Thank you, Dave Stretch. Awesome, exciting stuff. Thank you, Dave, for investing in yourself. I noticed today that you bought the Elite Hypnosis Bootcamp Home Study Package, which other people can, with 90% off for this week only, by going to hypnosisweek.com, scrolling down the page and using the discount offer link before it expires. So well done to you. Martin Shipley, instead of reading half my comment and using it as an excuse to have a go about your beliefs, read what I actually said. Well, you know what? I would if you, it looks like you've deleted it. But there you go. Let me click refresh on this page in case Facebook on the laptop is deleting stuff, which, believe me, I've had that happen before, so I apologise in advance if Facebook has done that wonderful magic trick, which it quite often sometimes does. So it won't let me scroll down now. Yeah, it's like this. It says I'm live, but then it's not showing any comments underneath. So let me see if I can possibly get the comments to scroll down underneath this. Sorry about this, I'm coming in a little bit close. Whoop. In fact, I may have to pick that up slightly. I'm going to have to resort to the phone because, as I say, the technology stopped working on us this week. We'll get it sorted by next week. So thanks to everyone who joined. I don't agree with hypnotherapy, Martin Shipley said. As many people don't understand how to do hypnosis, it's not a simple go to sleep. There are more people who are crap at hypnosis and can't properly hypnotise people. And when you speak to them, they don't believe in it, and therefore are rubbish hypnotist and use common control mechanisms. Well, there's a lot of people out there who are crap because they weren't taught by me. However, people who truly understand how and why hypnosis works give the client what they want, they feel the magic happen, and therefore they will get the changes. And that's why me and a lot of my students have the balls to offer a 100% money back guarantee. Simple as that. Apparently Martin Shipley says, to me, you are at the very other end of the scale of your beliefs on real hypnosis. However, I have bought many of your materials and would personally regard you as someone with knowledge in the area on your field, and that's why I respect you. You wouldn't be where you was today if you didn't know what you was doing. Thank you, Martin. You know, it's great. Nobody watching this has to agree with me. All I'm saying is this. When what I've done's worked for me for 26 years with hypnotherapy, over 25 years now with stage hypnosis, the success I've had, as I said, is at hypnotherapybootcamp.com for you to see. Regards live events. For home study, look at hypnosisweek.com, or for my career in general, look at magicalguru.com. It's because of what I'm telling you. I'm not hiding anything. So, has it been a fluke my entire career? Maybe. But you know what? That would be really bizarrely lucky then that all the thousands of people I've taught around the world who've used the exact same belief systems, constructs, techniques have ended up with similar excellent results on a consistent basis. So we've only got another 10 minutes to go. So I need to look through this. Right, I said I believe in your methods, but forgot. Forget it then if you're going to be a cock about it. Your beliefs are yours. I taken yours on and just said I totally agree with your field of study, but after that outburst, I've totally lost all respect after that comment. Sorry. Chill out. There you go. Martin, instead of reading out, well, I've read all your comments now. Michael Paul James, what do you think of the new Encyclopedia of Stage Hypnosis? A waste of trees. If you go on magicalguru.com, click on shop, go to Amazon, you can buy all 3 of my hypnosis books on Amazon for just a little bit more than getting the encyclopedia on its own. And the beautiful thing is, all of the stuff in that works and will make you money. Whereas the majority of what's in the Encyclopedia of Stage Hypnosis is outdated, doesn't work in the real world anymore, never did truly work anyway, was just in there to sell books, and some of it's highly dangerous and should be banned and illegal anyway. So, thanks Dave, awesome exciting stuff. Can you treat depression? Yes you can. Hello Dave Rawson, hello Henry Leander Anderson, hello everybody. Hilary Tempest. On the CMT you talk about accepting and using the support of other people close to you. But what if the people they know are not positive, more crabs in a bucket type mentality? Isn't it better to build belief in themselves rather than in others? Well, if you look at the CMT script, it does do that. It offers that in an option because the key phrase that's in the script that works for everything is in a way that feels right for you. If that won't feel right in their reality, in their world, then their unconscious mind, if you believe in that, will find a way to fill in that blank in a way that is right for them, because that's how it's all structured. They're all the questions I can see on the device. If anyone else did ask a question, I apologise. We've had technology issues. We'll hopefully have that sorted for next week. Next Sunday is Sunday I'm looking at my calendar, 1 second. Next Sunday is Sunday the 3rd of July. Sunday the 3rd of July. Next Sunday we'll be back at 9 o'clock UK, British time. And next week we're going to look at suggestibility tests. Some people call them set pieces. Some people call them mind manipulation tools. Some people call them suggestion tests. Some people call them conditioning techniques. Nonetheless, we're going to teach a whole bunch of them that can be used in therapy and also on stage, or even in mentalism and magic, or even in a sales environment if you're clever about it and use your powers of intelligence, imagination and concentration effectively, as I'm sure you will. That beautiful phrase means if they don't do as I've said on stage, they've got no imagination, no intelligence and no concentration, they're thick and stupid, they look daft. Whereas if they stay up there and do the silly things, they can walk away and blame me and say I only did it because he made me do it, so they become the star of the show. And in therapy, you know what? They've got to do it because otherwise they've got no powers of intelligence, imagination and concentration, and it also means they've just wasted 500 quid when they come to see me, because that's what they now pay. But for years it was 250 quid. If you're charging any less than £100, you're bonkers, and you truly do need to get to a live event such as hypnotherapybootcamp.com, the last UK event being in September this year. In fact, my last event live this year is September in Greater Manchester, as per hypnotherapybootcamp.com. If you can't make that, or you can't afford the hotels and the travel on top, you need to take advantage of the 90% discount on the home study package, which you can find down the page at hypnosisweek.com. And if you truly can't afford to invest in yourself to that level, then go to hypnosisweek.com and click on Offer of the Week and buy the package, What the Fuck Do You Know About Hypnosis? And discover the real truth that's worked for me for 26 years, all over that now, because I'm 41 in August. I've been doing hypnotherapy since I was 14. I've been doing stage hypnosis since I was 15. I've travelled the world. I've taught thousands of people, as you can see at the links I've already mentioned before. That includes plastic surgeons, medical doctors, cancer surgeons, researchers, psychiatrists, hypnotherapists, and I even advise many television name hypnotists and life coaches. There's a reason, and the reason is because what I teach works. It makes me highly unpopular with other trainers because the fact is they either don't know what I'm saying is truthful and have not had much success, or they do actually know it's truthful and they're scared that when you discover the truth, you'll never need to buy any other courses again. And you know what? If you come to my live event, as per hypnotherapybootcamp.com, I guarantee you'll never spend another penny on hypnosis training ever again. But if you can't get there live, I guarantee you, if you go to hypnosisweek.com, scroll down the page and take advantage right now, invest in yourself and get that 90% discount before it ends, which is before next week. Okay, if you get that discount, you can take the home study course. Everything I've ever released over the past 25 years is a business in a box. Every advertising template, business building tool, every technique, everything I've ever taught anybody's in there, and more besides, with a 90% off discount at the moment at hypnosisweek.com. And it's got a 1 year, 100% money back guarantee. Invest in yourself. Make yourself feel truly loved, wanted, needed, appreciated, cared for, cherished and valued, to increase your own self-esteem, self-confidence, self-image and self-control, so that your self-respect is such that you start to charge £100, £150, £200, £250, maybe even £500 per session like I do, so you have the confidence to give your clients a money-back guarantee, so you can set up multiple streams of income, so you can wake up in the morning and you've earned more money selling products on the internet, like I do from my various websites, than most hypnotherapists earn in a month. You can do it. You are worth it. The only thing stopping you is you. You can take today as the time where you take action and go, you know what? Forget cognitive dissonance that's telling you that, but if I believe what Jonathan Royal says, Alex William Smith, that means I have to accept that I've been lied to. I have to accept that I've wasted months and years of my life. I have to accept I've wasted thousands of pounds. Rather than getting stuck on the negative side where you're trapped and in pain, not getting enough clients, not making enough money, not getting the success rates you want or the lifestyle you want for you, your loved ones and your family, why not invest in yourself, start to love yourself, respect yourself, invest in yourself, and either book right now for the live event at hypnotherapybootcamp.com. Well, there's 50% off because the price will be going up at the moment. You can get it at half price. Or get the home study course at hypnosisweek.com. Scroll down the page and grab 90% off the home study package. And if you truly can't afford either of them, scrape, borrow or steal the $47 or whatever it is, $49, about 32 quid to get the hypnosis offer of the week, which is what the fuck do you know about hypnosis? Go to hypnosisweek.com, click on hypnosis offer of the week. That will only be valid, until midnight on Saturday the 2nd of July, when the offer will change to a different one. So if you're seeing this video in months to come and you go there, that is why. These are limited time offers. You'd be wise to use your powers of intelligence, imagination and concentration today to realise, you know what? The man behind the mask has told you the truth. Hypnosis does not exist except only in the mind of the believer. Suggestion correctly expressed is hypnosis. All people want is a way to remove all self-blame, shame, guilt and regret from themselves. And all the clinical studies, well, you know what, there's just as many saying it's bullshit as there are saying it's real, as there is for everything. And the biggest problem with any clinical study is, even when it's double or triple blind, is by virtue of doing a clinical study, an experiment, there's already a non-verbal suggestion involved. So all you end up proving is the power of suggestion anyway. With that thought in mind, thank you for your kind attention. Within about 5 minutes of this video ending, you will be able to click share and share it with your friends. Please do, spread the love, help them become better hypnotherapists. My name's Jonathan Royal, aka Alex William Smith. I'll see you next Sunday, the 3rd of July at 9 o'clock British time. Remember, invest in yourself. Live events, hypnotherapybootcamp.com, home study package at hypnosisweek.com, hypnosis offer of the week at hypnosisweek.com, and the free gifts are at hypnosisweek.com, and finally, see my career at magicalguru.com. Thank you very much for your time and attention. Watch the video again, download the clinical report, read it, study it, absorb it. You'll realise I've told you the truth. Good night.